Coach, welcome. Just another ho-hum GSC game here at Canale, huh?
You know, we played so well to build the lead that we had and to put ourselves in the position we were in, and then we just went deer in the headlight. I felt like we got a little scared. I mean, we looked like a young team out there. There was times we had layups that we just read the situation. You know, we got a couple easy baskets against that pressure. When we handled it and didn't panic, we were getting easy things, but most times we panicked. and the problem is, you know, the thing I was screaming the whole time is we're just not coming to the ball.
Right.
We're not coming to passes. We're throwing them in there quick as lightning out there, and we're throwing cross-court passes, and we're standing flat-footed waiting
for
on
it
them.
to come.
Instead of, can we come to it, we're going to go to the foul line, we're going to get run over.
Absolutely.
But we're standing back, and you know, again, we showed our youth there, but we also showed a lot the way we built the lead. I mean,
big time.
We're playing really good man-to-man defense. I mean, and I think it really boils down to we got two or three of these guys, the guards, because this team their guards are extremely good.
They really are.
We did a great job on them early when we were building the lead. Now they got some transition things. They got, you know, one guy's averaging 30 points a game, and I think he had 2 or 3 at halftime or 4. I think he had 4 free throws. He hadn't made a shot.
Right.
I felt like every time they drove, it was a foul. I mean, it just like, and I'm like, it was frustrating because it's not always, you know, I mean, the contact is not always initiated by the defender.
Exactly.
We're backpedaling, and they're calling fouls on us because they're driving right into us. But you know, we did a pretty good job, I think. But I'd be interested to see how many little number 3 got in transition off of turnovers and things like that in the last 5 to 10 minutes.
Versus playing defense when they were setting it up.
Yeah, I mean, we did
a
great. You know, and again, I think the key for us when you look at it, anytime there's a half that's inside 20 points or inside 30, if we keep a team in the 20s, those are the best halves we've played this year. And obviously the second half, the turnovers just let it get out of control and, you know, sent the thing. Yeah. It made it a lot closer. But you know, the big thing is that we did do that we haven't done yet is in a situation when we needed to make a couple of big free throws tonight, we stepped up and made them. Jeff hit some big ones for us tonight.
Cody hit one.
Cody hit one there.
Charlie.
Yeah,
right
did a good job. You know, and we talk about it a lot. Cody did a good job offensive rebounding on that one that we missed.
Yes.
And we've talked about it because we're missing so many, unfortunately. I told Cody and Drew, because they're both great rebounders, I said, when they're shooting free throws, you guys got to be on that line and got to be aggressive.
Right.
Now, we're not going over backs. We're trying to slice the lane, diagonal and stuff, trying to get an angle to give us a chance to get the rebound when we miss free throws. And Cody obviously got a really big one there, and I think that was right before he made a free throw. Right. He got fouled immediately after that.
Yep. Well, man, I'll tell you, and what about your, again, we've talked off the air, but, you know, this is probably the youngest team I remember in 11 years of broadcasting, I think, that I've seen you put on the floor. But
no doubt.
Your senior back-to-back doubles here, Coach.
Drew was so big tonight. And when Drew's, you know, I told Drew during one time, I said, God, the world's a better place when Drew's making threes. And, God, he was, you know, a big part of us building that lead. He was hot, and that, you know, it's all it is. It's just a better play. And Jeff hit some big ones. Jeff, you know, as a team, but it was mainly Drew and Jeff, you know,
right.
3 for 8 and 6 for 8. Jordan hit a big one early, you know, in the first half, but and Jordan did a great job because it was the first game he didn't start. You know, sometimes you don't know how guys are going to respond to that, but you know, Adam got in foul trouble. And Adam was playing well. I thought Adam was
for the minutes played.
Adam was
both
playing,
those guys.
Yeah, those two. And that was the thing we were struggling with, trying to figure a way to get those two in together more, but this just wasn't a game that lent itself to that.
No.
In fact, there were times when we felt like we had to get them all out because we couldn't guard them. They went small, and we couldn't guard them. You know, we
exactly.
just had, and you know, but there's going to be some nights where we can get them both. They're both playing. So I mean, you look at their numbers, and if you look at that, I mean, you know, our 5 men tonight and their split time had 29 points.
Yeah.
You know, and one of them 6 for 9, the other one 7 for 14. You know, they got 9 rebounds between the two. I mean, the 5 position, that's an all-conference. That's an all-American kind of player. And when you think about it, one's a freshman and one's a sophomore. But again, where it becomes the hard part is, again, I don't want to spend the next 3 years with those two splitting 40 minutes.
Right.
But again, there's games that just kind of force you into that. And tonight, and then the other thing, the way they're calling fouls, you got it. We needed them both. We needed them both because, you know, Jordan oftentimes is foul prone. He didn't get in the foul trouble tonight the way he does sometimes because he didn't start. But Adam got into it.
Right.
You know, you got to adjust.
You know, I thought on the pressure they've done a good job most of the year, the games I've seen. But I thought they let some hand check going on that, you know, and it's just again be consistent.
It was frustrating because clearly they're driving at the basket, and we're used to those fouls being called. I mean, that's not even the new rule. They're just, you know, it's like one guy. Every time they drove the basket, it was a foul. Yeah. I'm like, it's just like, come on, you know, every time. And we're getting the ball in the post and doing things, or they're pressing us, and we can't get the double bonus. We're getting pressed for 10 minutes aggressively, and we can't get a foul call.
That's what I was.
Now I think we did a poor job handling it. We did a poor. The one thing we talked about, and I think it was kind of a turning point for us settling down a little bit, where we just didn't completely come unraveled, is I got a hold of Jeff with about 4 or 5 minutes to go. I said, Jeff, you got to bring
the ball up.
I said, you've got to bring, because these other guys, I mean, the other ones are just not ball handling guards, and they're getting in trouble, and they're, you know, and I said, you're the one guy, and I said, the other thing is, if he advances it aggressively to the point where he can't go any farther because 2 or 3 guys are converging, then when he makes the pass, somebody's wide open. Somebody's wide open then, and they're not under the kind of pressure they're in. Like when Tyler had the offensive foul, when he's, you know, I mean, Tyler still, you know, he got a little rattled there at the end a couple times, and it's just a matter of calming down and getting a little more experience.
What's that youth?
Well, and you know, and Tyler and Cody both they're playing so hard, and they're making those two to me are the key to why our man-to-man defense has been so
their
good.
Defense is tenacious out there.
They play so hard, and they want it so bad, and that makes up a lot for inexperience. And
you have the other 3.5 guys with the 2 bigs, and Jeff and Drew. If they're on offensively, you can throw those 2 guys out defensively, and they're going to get the garbage buckets, so to speak, the rebounds and the stick backs, and absolutely. Well, Coach, tell you, you know, tough pre-conference schedule. Kind of got your young team ready to go, and then you start out 2-0. It's at home, but that's 2-0 in the GSC. That's huge heading into the road.
It's really pressure too when you started off struggling like we have. Although we've played some, you know, again, like you said, we played a really tough schedule. You know, we got one road win again. You know, and the Trevecca win on paper doesn't look as impressive as some of the other teams we played, but Trevecca beat Huntsville up there this week on Monday night up there. So going into Nashville and playing Trevecca at Trevecca is no walk in the park. So that was a great win. We played Bellarmine tough for 30 minutes, and then kind of came unraveled a little bit like we did it tonight, although it wasn't turnovers. It was just we just kind of came unraveled. But clearly our early schedule was tough. But going into it, when you go in 1-4, and we talked about it last Sunday, the guys came back from Thanksgiving, and we couldn't really do anything. So it actually led into Monday. We just had them come in and shoot because we couldn't do anything on Sunday this week. And we kind of got them together, and I talked to a couple of them individually. I said, look, the key thing is this time Saturday night, we got to be 2-0. We got to be 2-0, and if we can do that. But I said the other thing is, if for some reason we don't get it done Thursday, then we're going to come in Friday, and we're going to do everything we can to get it done Saturday. We're just going to take that approach with this team, that we just got to keep getting better, and I think we're finding things out. The other thing about having a tough early schedule, maybe getting a couple of the NAI games that we've had in the past where we win by 30, we don't really find out. The thing we're finding out a little bit too is what our rotation needs to be. I think we finally kind of come together on what 5 or 6 guys need to be playing the core minutes, and we really kind of got to the point, we talked about it before the last game, because we started the 2 bigs in an attempt to try to get them 2 together more for the game the other night. And I went in at halftime, and we weren't playing well. We were down at halftime on Thursday night, and I had talked to the coaches before the game. I said, we worked all week to get these 2 bigs in there together. But I said, when you think about it, our game at Trevecca, our second half our first half against Bellarmine, I said, what's the best half we played all year before Thursday? It's clearly the second half at Trevecca. And I said, who were the guys on the floor? Well, the guys on the floor were the guys that started tonight. They were the guys that started the second half the other night. And I do think Adam and Jordan are kind of interchangeable.
Yeah.
But those other four, going with a little bit smaller lineup, going with Cody and Tyler, what it does for us defensively, I think just offsets some of the things we may lose. You lose a little bit. Charlie has struggled, and I keep telling you, Charlie's going to get hot. He's going to start making threes.
Too good a shooter.
I use the old baseball card analogy. Baseball's in my heart.
Oh yeah.
I said, what it says on the back of your bubble gum card is going to happen.
Yeah.
And Charlie has been a 40% plus 3-point shooter his whole career. He's going to start, man. I told Charlie the other day, I said, what it means is you're going to shoot over 50 the rest of the year because you're going to wind up at 40.
At 40.
And you're going to have to shoot somewhere, near 50, over 50 to get to 40. And I said, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You just got to quit worrying about it and just let it happen. And, we do lose a little bit not having his shot in the game.
Right.
But we're gaining so much defensively that it's kind of where we are right now. And Charlie's there ready. If, Drew has off night, he's there ready to come in for Drew. He's ready to come in
Cody
for he had to come in for Cody when he got in foul trouble tonight. And I thought it gave us real good minutes the other night. And I thought he had a couple good looks that I thought were going to go tonight. They just didn't go. But I still believe at some point he's going to find that.
And when it does, it's going to make your job so much easier.
It's going to make, like I said, it's a lot better world when Drew's threes are going in. That made tonight. Absolutely. That saved us tonight.
Sure did. Well, I'll tell you, Coach, 4 tough ones on the road coming up the next couple of weeks. At Delta and at Mississippi College, and at West Georgia at West Al. Then Christmas, and before we're back here on New Year's Eve, I'll cross the street. Liberty Bowl will be coming on when we're against Valdosta on the 1st. But, Coach, Merry Christmas to you and your family and the team. And won't be back on there until the 31st when we're back here with Trevecca. But good luck on those 4 road games. Let's come back 6-0, and then we'll be sitting right there at the top.
Hopefully we can find a way to steal a few. They're obviously all going to be tough on the road, but we played very well on the road last year. We actually played better on the road in conference than we did at home. So it's nice to see us win a couple here.
Yeah,
because last year the way we struggled at home, but there, I think most nights the games are winnable. If we just got to bring it, and like I said, the big thing is just trying to continue to get better. Know that we do have a young team. There's going to be some periods like it was at the end of night where things kind of come off the rails. We just got to try to calm down.
But I think those guys will learn watching the film and knowing what coming to the pass, as you mentioned, instead of normally they just stay on the other side and it comes to them.
Right.
They'll see those things. I'm sure you and Eddie and the coaching staff will point them out again. Yeah. But and it'll, like I say, just to see the youth and to see what they're at. And I mean, from the first game I saw you guys here at home to now, the improvements that are coming on.
We've come a long way. This team beat Stillman. Wow. And they beat Stillman at a neutral site game. So if that kind of shows where we are. And again, they came in here like 4-2. They gave Union fits the other night at Union. It was a really close game at Union. If we and you look at where we were when we were pushing that thing toward 20, you're thinking, man, how good are we playing? Yeah. We were just playing the game, basically them playing their game, because really I don't think they came in planning on pressing us.
Right, until
and we obviously showed, they had to do it because they got so far behind. They had to press, and like I said, we came a little bit unglued, but you think about how good we played for 25 to 30 minutes to get to that point before we went kind of crazy. We played pretty good basketball, so we've got to continue to do that. Obviously, we've got to shore up some of these things because everybody's going to start pressing us when they see that. We're going to have to learn to deal with it and execute. And the thing I got to keep reminding the guys, we panicked a little. I think we played for a while. We were playing not to lose. We were trying to hold on to that lead, and we could, you could just see it. There was a couple of times we completed passes, and we had a layup. We didn't even look.
Right. We
weren't even looking at the basket. And I said, just turn. There was one where, and again, it was just so conservative. Charlie had one where he got it, and because they were throwing so many people at us, when we got the pass, Charlie got the ball right at the top of the key, and he had Drew over on the wing, and he had Adam down on the block. And there was nobody on Adam, and he turned and saw Drew, and then just kind of turned back, wanting to find Jeff.
They're not used to that kind of pressure so far.
Turn ahead and hand it to Adam, and he's laying it in. But again, and Charlie, Lord, he wasn't the only one. We had several of those type plays where we just look ahead and play, and just catch the ball. You're 3-on-2, go make a play. And like I said, we just got a little too conservative there. And but all's well that ends well.
All right. Well, Coach, congratulations again. 2 big wins at home, GSC play. Good luck in the 4 on the road, and we'll see you after Christmas back here against Trevecca.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Merry
you very
Christmas.
much. All right. Merry Christmas to you.